Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to hit another very good offering from Digest Group Publications, Grand Census. This was a partner book to Grand Survey, released in 1986 by DGP. I'm going to go into the information that's inside the book, how it's companion to Grand Survey, and just why I actually like this book more even than Grand Survey. Grand Census is one of my favorites. I'll let you take a look inside, and I'll show you why this still makes it to the table almost every time I run Traveler. So on page 121 today, Grand Census by DGP. Okay, Grand Census from Digest Group Publications. This was out in 1987, not 86 as I said in the earlier in the intro. My apologies there. This was basically a Scout's go-to book. In fact, a lot of the information that's in here is still copyright at the time for the Traveler book and Book 6 Scouts by GDW and was used with permission. This was a pretty neat book. You've got, there we go. You've got the universal, the cultural profile, which would tell you about the race that you were working with. You've got the task system, which with some modifications will go on to become the basis for the Mega Traveler task system. And then exploring a world. What is a scout? What do scouts do? Why do we love being scouts? This was nice because it gave us a real insight, a real flavor for being a scout. Scout was always one of my favorite classes. I played one scout, but I like to GM scouts. Usually people kind of get free and let their inner Han Solo loose with playing a scout. I know Rogue or Scoundrel is better for that, but it just seemed to be how it was. So here we go through first contact, contacting a new race, pre-contact procedures, landing party contact procedures, and procedures with when direct contact is risky. We still have some of those in our real world. And defining what constitutes sentience. So this was what a scout needed to do his job day in and day out. How the heck did you determine what sentience was? There we go, light's a little bit better. How did you determine if it was a race that you should contact or if it was one that you should stay distant from and maybe just study? Languages in the Imperium. It goes into how the heck you talk to the early, the first contact cultures. The linguistic skill and universal task profile for linguistics skill. And here is why these pages, this is why this guy is still on my table. I love the way these items look, these little pieces of personal equipment, the expansions on what you would have aboard a starship. That's why I find this even more interesting than Grand Survey. And I love Grand Survey, but I like this. I like how the communicator looks. I like the comm dots, the field glasses. All this stuff just screams Traveler to me. Even the porn stash on that guy. I like the artwork. I just love the look of this book. Right there. Like the Starship Operators book. This artwork is a little dated, but it's from my era, so I don't mind. There we go. Neurological, a portable NAS, which is neurological activity sensor. So you can see if somebody, what level they're thinking at, which is pretty cool. A bioscanner sniffer, just all kinds of cool stuff. A tech level 15 grav belt. And then an enclosed 2-man G-tube. A 4-man air raft, a grav bike. All these pictures with a person in there for scale. Just so useful. I put this on the table all the time when I'm describing equipment to my players, and they see exactly what it is I'm talking about. Plus, I base a lot of the flavor of this style of game out of this book. And then here we go, detailing a culture. What makes a people a people? What makes them something you need to study or possibly contact? Just a tremendous amount of detail in this. a fun, just a fun book. I love it. Anybody who's into the old Star Trek with the Prime Directive, haha, he said, smiling, the Prime Directive, you know about how first contacts can go and how Starfleet is not supposed to interfere, yet they always do, but then they get out of it because why not? And then we have Intelligent Life, Minor Races, Society and Cultures. A lot of information in this book, and especially if you are leaning toward being a scout or running scouts. It's not a bad game if you're running an entire scout team. You can get a lot of diversity out of the scouts themselves, and if you have 4 or 5 players who are all playing scouts working together, this book is very good for that. So more stuff on how you actually, the tables, how you would detail a sculpt, culture, the technology levels, very important, brought out on this page. And just all kinds of information in here. You have to talk about their economics, their religion, and then more stuff on detailing. So, tremendous detail in this book. It goes for 48 pages and then uses the inside back cover to give us still more information on the IISS survey uniform, what the scouts wear while they're on a survey. And there's a back page with a BOAP meeting a human. So I know this book is out of print. I know it's not available on PDF. Again, I'm just showing these as kind of a way to kind of kick people in the butt and say, hey, we like these products. They're wonderful on the table. We really would like to have access to them again. So politely, please, whoever holds these, let's go ahead and let's get these out and let people enjoy them. So that's all I've got for today on page 121. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And if there's anything you would like me to cover in further detail out of any of the books I've shown, please let me know. I'll see you next time on page 121.